We have 3 or 4 sitting in.
Setting up
we
your
have
meeting.
like 7 or 8 people sitting in follow up with because we want to ask them more questions.
That's cool. You can do it straight from Zoom.
Yeah, it's actually a setting that is in Zoom that not many people know about, I think.
Wow.
All right, it says we're live. I go on my phone.
Not wanting to come in person because it's kind of a weird time.
That's why we're doing both.
Online.
All right, 1 million cups is now live, and I'm watching it. I see myself. All right.
Great. It's like Inception, just the whole mirror.
So meta.
Let's wait for our audience to
When you see yourself looking at yourself.
Okay.
We were perfectly fine. So many good things.
Yeah, but there's a delay. Darren, you're live if you want to just.
Oh, am I live? Good morning. Hey, how are you guys? Wow, we are like blacked
Really
out.
dark.
Wow.
Would it be better if I turn the
Let me
light
turn the
on?
lights off.
Which one is it?
Says spider.
Spider. Turn the spider on.
Oh, nope.
Oh, now
Wow.
you can't see.
Now we
Hold
gotta
on,
put
let me
these other ones
turn
on.
these on.
Better. A little bit better. Bless
Oh
you.
no.
Thank you.
Well, you're good, Darren. You're right in the spotlight.
I'm in the
That's all that matters.
I hate being in the spotlight. All right. Say, hey, good morning, folks. Welcome to 1 Million Cups, South Atlanta or Peachtree City. Today we have Dream Leader, right?
Yep.
I have it correctly. Thank you, Dane. So Dane is going to be presenting Dream Leader today. But before we get to him, I want to let y'all know we will continue to do this. You can come join us live here or via Zoom, or which links over to Facebook Live. So
But you
there's
can't
3
get-
ways to join us if
If
you
you're
can't
not
make
here,
it.
you can't get the sound.
That's right.
That's true.
Bakery.
And so what Leslie is saying, one of our sponsors is Highland Bakery, and we have some amazing treats today. Jason's going to bring the tray over.
For those watching, they really need to see what they're
I
missing.
should have
out.
made the trip. I know. Oh my gosh. I'm regretting so bad. It's like
So
4
we have
hours. Though. I would have had to leave at like 3 a.m. But
And then our sponsor for our coffee, as we know, it's, this is founded around coffee for folks, and that's our sponsor is Bitter Bitch Coffee. And today we're drinking Boss Bitch, which is a medium breakfast blend. So when you join us, those are the 2 things. So that's what you're missing out on right now.
man.
And without further ado, let's just go straight to Dane with Dream Leader.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I wish I could have been there in person. I was debating it. I think you have to make me a host to share. Is that right? Or does it work already?
You're right.
Okay, cool.
Participants.
Right up front.
There
Well, hello.
Change host.
Okay, great.
There
Perfect.
you go.
Yeah,
Thanks. Well, good morning, everybody. I am really regretful I'm not there. Everyone's got a cool t-shirt on. I maybe could have grabbed one of those and coffee. Oh, is there an issue?
No, I just wanted to make you bigger for our sake.
Oh, great. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll share my screen and I'm going to kind of talk about what we've been working on here and where we're headed with Dream Leader. So let me share my screen. Let me see if I can get it. I do have a presentation. Boop. There it is. And if you can't make out the logo, it's called, and what's my time limit? Just so is that like 5 minutes, 7 minutes?
Actually, we don't have a second presenter, so we're not going to keep time. You just be comfortable and present at your own pace.
Sure, 48, 50 minutes. Sounds good. No, I'll keep it brief. I will go a little bit slower, only for the fact that it's kind of introductory to the product. But yeah, it shouldn't be longer than 7 minutes. And then we'll open it up, of course. So my product by Dream Leader, our company is called Dream Leader. Our product is called Redocd, like documents, like you're docking something to or pinning something. So there's kind of a play on word, but the product is called Redocd, and you'll see that. But so that's our first software product. It is a knowledge management tool. So if you're not familiar with knowledge management, a lot of times you've probably used in your life SharePoint or Basecamp or There's some new players that aren't pure play knowledge management. They're like everything in one, like project management and all this stuff like Asana, Notion. So we're in that space. It's a kind of a hot space right now. But if you're still learning about knowledge management, none to worry. I'll keep it slow because not everyone in 1 million cups, as I found out over many times, is in software. So we have a lot of different industries represented. So anyway, you'll see right underneath is we're in the business of managing files and folders. So of course, that's like Dropbox, Google, all those things, even on your local. So like we do files, folders, we do team spaces, wiki, how-to documents, and we do it all in a meaningful way. So that's what makes knowledge management. So your organization has all this knowledge and you're not sure what to do with it. A lot of times there's like cluttered up Google Drives or box.com or Dropbox. And then you also may have a main system that you work with, like a CRM or an ERP, depending on your business needs. So we are a knowledge management system. We're managing all that content. And we'll talk about what that looks like and how that works. Cool. So this is just an overview of like kind of like an infographic version. And I'll get into the weeds on like how the product works. So right now you're like, what's all this stuff? So it's essentially a team space for a team to work. And I'll talk about this. It's a board and it's made of many cards, a board of many cards, a coat of many colors. And it's essentially files, but they're not just files. It's just staying here in the middle. A file can be an actual hard file from your desktop, like a PDF or a Word doc. It can be a soft file or a link to like an Envision document or a mock-up where you have to load the shareable link. It could be a number of things. It could be a wiki article that you wrote within the system. So we kind of treat them all the same now, as opposed to having URLs for files in systems that aren't in Google Drive and hard files. So we just made cards all synonymous, kind of like pinning stuff on Pinterest. You can pin all over, but you can also upload hard files. Y'all tracking with me? Super cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. And you'll see here, I'll explain a little bit about drop downs and stuff. There's also some folders at the top. We'll talk about that. And then we do have some meeting notes and stuff. So we'll get into this. You don't have to comprehend like what's my mind looking at right now. I'll explain it here. I've already been in about 3 minutes, so I'll speed it up. Really briefly, our beachhead for us to launch this product very soon is for typically focused for software companies or client services companies is our focus right now. Doesn't mean it will not work for a lot of different organizations. It's kind of a somewhat generic tool like Trello, but Trello can be used for many applications, but our focus right now is for companies in software industry or serving clients and building software for them. And it works really well for teams of size anywhere from 3 to 15 people. So if you have a team of like 50 people on your team, it wouldn't not work. It just is that's where we're focused right now, to kind of give you a little overview. So without further ado, let's do an example and I'll explain it and we'll open it up. So here's an example. If I'm a software development team needing knowledge management and we're building an app and we work for someone like Kroger, I used to work for Kroger, and we had a product team. Our team at Kroger built a product that you could order groceries from. So we're a software team, like how do we build an app? And we have all this content, all this stuff. We have Jira and Trello and all these tools. What's the point of knowledge management when we're building this app? So I'm going to kind of walk us through that use case real fast. And more specifically on this app, our team, our software team of developers and designers, we're focused right now in the middle of something of building the cart feature and the checkout feature. So that is what we're doing like in these next couple weeks in our little scenario. So I'm going to show that scenario and how it works with knowledge management. Boop. Okay, so first, most likely in software, you don't have to be a software expert. You're going to understand this really quickly. You may have someone who starts the process with this feature and they say, hey, we need to draw out some kind of business process. We need to figure out when the customer would click this and do this. And they would create a bunch of Visios or storyboards, and they would just dump them into a folder like this. They would say, here's a bunch of Visios. I just want to dump them. I don't want to organize them. I don't actually like organization. I don't like being in these systems. I just want to do my job. And that's what happens. And they say, just dump all of them. It doesn't matter which feature it's related to. Just put them all in one big folder. And that's what most people are doing today on their Dropbox or Google. And we're like, okay, well, that's a start. Let's at least get into a folder that other people can access. You're like, great. The designer would then come in and say, okay, I'll sketch up something based on this. Let me draw some pictures and draw like what I think the cart would look like, so I can give some people an idea on the team. Like, I think this is the right direction on the flow. And here's some mock-ups or sketches, wireframes of what this would look like. And then the designer would dump all those into a folder. And we're like, great, we have 2 folders now full of stuff. The designer also may then after that get some approval. And this is the last step, and we'll stop. Say, hey, I'm going to build some beautiful mock-ups. Now we're like dialing it in. Here's maybe this color, and this color. I want to put them all together, and we're all going to look at them together and really get what we want. Y'all tracking with me?
Yeah.
Great. And so on. So this goes on for the rest of the process on when you build a product. So you code it, you test it, you may add test data to the environment. You're going to build it and release it, and then you got to support it. But this is still the old way. So what happens is what I've just shown you is everyone's throwing stuff into big buckets. They just took all the files that they work on specifically. The tech lead does storyboards, the designer does sketch files, and they just put it in a bucket somewhere. And it's really like only partially useful. You're like, okay, well, I know that I can find your document somewhere in one of these buckets, in storyboards or a statement of work for the sales guys or mock-ups over here for the designers. Like, I know kind of how to get to it, but it really isn't meaningful, especially as the organization grows. You're like, well, where's that feature? Where's that thing? How does this all make sense? It's just these buckets that are only half useful. So hard to see this diagram, but I said, but what if we also, in that example, took one of those cards, it's kind of hard to see, and we dragged it over to what we call a flash page. And we said, we're going to put it in that cart feature in our system. We're going to put it over here. And then we could say for each of those files that we used to build that feature, a storyboard, we had a couple wireframes, a couple mock-ups, we're dragging it all to a specific channel or an epic or a flash page, as we call it. And you'll see here among the different things that we're building for our app. So we had, when we build the app, we have a home page, a product detail page, maybe a reorder button, a Stripe integration, some roles and permissions. One of those features is the cart and checkout. So not only are we dumping these things to a bucket, we're allowing the user to quickly just drag it over or label it or pin it to its associated feature. Now, this is a little bit busy, probably hard to see a little bit until you're like really used to it. But essentially, it's a pop-up of the feature. So it's just the cart screen, and you kind of have this little dashboard, and I'll explain it later. But you have like some pinned documents and the whole cycle of what we just went through. So I have my mock-ups, my wireframes, all curated and around that collection of that specific feature. So now I have this feature kind of as a module within the system, but everything is still living in its folders where they're supposed to be. So I still have my mockups folder with every feature. And then I can also come to this specific feature and I see the one mockup that belongs to the cart. And by doing that, by having this kind of XY axis where I have folders and then I also have features, it allows your data now, whatever you're building, whether it's software or something else, to be reusable, repeatable, resellable, and easily understood. So if I build a cart feature for one app, I could use that cart feature for another app. Or even a better example, if we build software for a customer and I want to reuse that software for another customer and upsell it or resell it, it's very easy now because it's all put together very quickly already in the system. So that's where just by tagging or by dragging to a specific feature, that alone is exceedingly more information, exceedingly more valuable than just dumping stuff to buckets. And you'll see that a lot of this happens within people using SharePoint or Confluence already. They're building these team spaces. And within these team spaces, you get all these user stories or all these features. And we're pretty much just making that very easy for users to not have to build those anymore. So that being said, you'll see here in the picture that over the team boards, the layout of the projects are the same. So whether you have one team or another team, there's no more of this like MySpace, like everyone's pages are different and style different. Everyone has the same layout, but it's the content that what makes them different. So one team has files and a bunch of features or a bunch of channels. another team. And you'll see that it's easy to understand other people's projects very quickly now because it's set up the same way, kind of like a project profile page. So you can share it in a new way, implement, discover in a new way, and it's easy to discover other people's projects and reuse their stuff for your own needs as well. So Flash pages themselves are part of the project, which are like those modules and collections and features, which are very meaningful now. They're not just folders, and we now have these collections that allow us to reuse these modules across the platform. And then they're used for more than just that. So it's more. So you can have it both ways, like I mentioned. You can store your documents by document type or by feature, and that's just one asset of our platform. So we do many other things. We do meeting notes is built into our application, is being built into our application right now. So that way you can take meeting notes in here. You don't have to save a text file or go to this application. So if you have meetings related to your team, you just take them in here because it'll save your meeting notes here. But you'll see also we have files linked out, Microsoft files, Google files, PDFs, web-based files. And it's kind of like a Roku for all your content, because Roku is agnostic to what system it's using. It just wants to give you access to it all at the same spot. So that's it for the product overview. I'll wrap it up here, kind of where we're at, and then I'll open it up for questions. So this September, we're really excited. We're working with early partners right now. We're sending out a bunch of really cool stuff. We're showing up at TechCrunch Disrupt, which is online this year, which is okay. So we'll see how that goes, but we're at least attending as a booth essentially. And then we're getting crazy because it's like our official like product launch go live this September. So we're really excited about it. If you want to support us, we would love it. Please follow us and like us on LinkedIn, add comments, question everything we're doing, just any traction and like getting people excited about what we're doing and getting excited about our stuff. You can sign up for a launch packet. I'll show you how to do that. With it, we'll mail you some cool coffee and a card and some fun swag. We'll just mail it to you. It's really cool. We're sending these out to early adopters that I know personally that are good friends of mine and other organizations I worked with. So you can sign up online to do that. We'll get connected and actually have a relationship. It'll be great. And then spread the word. You know, we're just getting started. We're a little baby startup. But we're really big on the inside. We have a small team working with us, and we can talk about that in a moment. And that's our website, Redocd.com, and you can go to launch or you can find launch. So if you just remember Redocd, you'll find it. And that's it.
That's really cool, Dane.
Well, thank you.
So I know as 1 Million Cups, we're the first question we're supposed to ask you is, what can we as your community do for you? But you just gave us very clear instructions on.
I knew it was coming. Yeah.
So I'm a web developer. We actually just launched our first app recently. So I mean, between websites and just overall project planning, I identify with the problem that you have solved, and I think it's beautiful. I mean, if these mock-ups are what it actually looks like, it's really, really nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was saying to Laura here, like she actually said it's all like Pinterest then, right?
Right before very much is. Yep.
Pinterest. Yep. And then I said, yeah, but what's that other one it reminds me of? And I think Evernote is what I was thinking of.
Yep.
How you kind of like just save anything to it, right? It doesn't matter. But the organization part behind what you've done is the part that really sets you apart. And I could absolutely see this working. So you're going to launch soon, like how do I pay you? What do I pay you? Is it per seat? Is it, tell us more about that.
About the launch packet?
I guess just once you're up and running and you're open
for once business, we're up and running. Yeah. What's the pricing model and things like that?
Yeah.
So that's a great question. It's built for teams right now. So like a software development team is, let's say 5 people. So we're still working at pricing, as you can see, we're just breaking in. So right now it's free for everybody until we get solid. But it's most likely going to be priced per team, which is essentially priced per user. So it's going to be something like per team up to 8 people, it's going to be like $29 a month. So that's roughly what, like $3.50, $4 a person. So it's really really reasonably priced compared to like the others in the space. but we want to do it based on team. So like if you have 8 users, but there's actually like 9 people on your team, you would have to buy two teams, because we really want to kind of sell that as we're a team product, but it's essentially per user pricing. And I think that's the direction we're going to go. But we also know down the road that people will use this for their personal means. Like my wife is already using it for like homeschooling and prepping and all these documents and online files and putting like all these things that they have to cut out for the kids. And she can just like lay it out like as like almost like a scrapbook or like a planner. And she's only using it for herself. So like if there's a bunch of people using it for themselves, we wouldn't make any money. So we have to like think about that as well. But right now it's per team. So if you have 2 product teams in your organization, then you'd only have to pay for one of them right now. So one team gets the benefit, and then you get to marry the information between the 2 teams and actually like share, and it becomes even more powerful as you use it. So that's why there's a huge incentive to let your other teams come and play with you. I think Daphne raised your hand. Daphne? Oh, Daphne.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to hit the unmute button. I was hitting the red. Thank you.
Yeah.
Once you put the information into the cart, who are you recommending organize that information?
That's great. So there's usually everyone on the team is the quick answer. Everyone should be contributing because it's so easy now. No one has to create and design like a page template and publish it. Typically, it's usually like a project manager or a scrum master or somebody that's like usually organization crazy, and they're like myself, and they're like, oh, I'll just build it for our whole team and I'll organize it. Just give me the documents. And they usually kind of like take it as their pet project to do that, and it's part of their job. Now it's so much easier. There's no editing of pages or any of that stuff that we want to encourage developers. We want to encourage designers to upload and drag. It's just like or like a Pinterest, like just add it to the board, like pin it down. And by doing that, we want the team to be excited about organization more than they have been in the past. Because in the past, it's usually that PM or that Scrum Master that says like, oh, like I want to design it this way. And everyone else on the team's like, sure, I'll just go along with the flow. I just want to just build my specs or build my code. And now we're kind of making it easier for everyone to get into play and enjoy organization for their team. Okay.
And then you change the, who names the files? Who names the folders? I'm sorry.
Right. So there is a setup process. There's an onboarding process when you set up an organization that we're building right now. So right now we're like helping people get onboarded, but essentially it's going to be someone like that. It's kind of like a team lead. Whoever's setting up the project, the original one, will be saying, hey, we use, mockups, we use wireframes, we use change orders and things like that, and statements of work. Those are our main files. And you just get a few of them to start. And then down the road, we have permissions that allow, depending on, your team and who you want to have permission on your team, to edit those folders, because you are sharing them right now. So you do need to have some kind of structure and permissions to make sure things are consistent. So yeah, we have those roles and permissions in there as well.
Now, the only thing I saw that I was confused with is, are there folders within folders? I'm trying to, or is it based on project? I'm trying to see as a user.
Yeah, I haven't gotten deep into the system, but there was actually a really good slide. Let's see here. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. What's really interesting about this is it's a project level. So our example, we're the food order app team. So we're an app team, and typically teams build or name themselves after whatever they're building, typically, or after their clients. So they're like, we're the UNC team. We build software for University of North Carolina, like that's our team name. And then we may have a couple other projects. So at the top here are all the folders, and these folders are the same ones that live inside the features. So if I click wireframes, I'm going to see all the wireframes from all the features on the team. Now, you can't go double nested right now. We don't allow that because we want to keep it really simple for people to use. So like, once I open a feature like a cart, it's just the folders of our normal methodology, which is this, then this, then this, then this, and this. You can't go any deeper and that. So we think if we have to go deeper, we either need to build another flash page, another pro page, or something else that that's what we're trying to prevent, is people building super nested. Yep.
So I'm going to reduce my Google, my Box and Drop, and use Redocd. Is that the idea?
Yeah, you'll see that we're not trying to completely prevent the use of Google Drive or Office 365 or anything like that. We actually just want to be agnostic. We want to say, like, if you want to keep your Google Drive and store stuff there or build documents there, that's great. This is really for a system for teams to work together, to have one space for us all to work. Yep. And so, like, you'll see there's like Google Drive docs or there, and we'll visualize the card too if we can do that based on permissions. Like, we'll give you an image of the card. So yeah, it's really lets you like use hard files, soft files, but you know, Google Drive and Office 365 are great, but they want you to use their products. So like if you try to use an Envision document or a Sketch document in Google Drive, that's a web-based file. You have to download it and then re-upload it. It doesn't make any sense. So
right.
Yeah, right now we just copy a shareable link and you just pin it to your board essentially. We have a Chrome extension too that allows you to just to pin it directly to this board, or even email shared links directly to this board. You can just go to the board, go to the source system like Sketch, pop in your board email, and boom, you're ready to go. It's like a short code almost.
That's really cool.
That answered my question.
So this is one thing I do that I know this is for customer service and software development.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot with the recruiting for my firm.
Yeah.
So like yesterday, we're in Avature going through, looking through different candidates and people in our pipeline. And this is the same kind of thing where you have, different steps in the process, documentation, things like that, but having to have people from different locations all kind of share nodes. And like yesterday, we're going through because it's a freaking cluster right now.
They do. Yeah, they become clusters.
Yeah. People got lazy during the COVID because we, put a pause on hiring. So I like this. And I must admit, at first I whispered over here and I was like, how is this different than Dropbox? But I like the idea. Now I get it. It's the tags that are a lazy way to be able to group everything, and then it's elegant to kind of move through. So I like the fact that I'm not having to learn a new way to do things.
Yep.
But it just kind of is one of those things that just takes what we're already doing and just makes it a little bit more user friendly. Exactly.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Have you tried anybody testing it? That is, because the other space where I think about is, I'm in nonprofits where a lot of the people that I work with are not tech savvy at all. Have you had people testing it that, are uncomfortable with tech and cloud-based programming? Like, is this something that they can catch on to?
Yeah, totally. I like I mentioned, I think I think it's a lightweight tool enough that it's like Trello. I think that Trello is like the opposite of us, which is Trello's project management. I'm going to sign out a bunch of tasks individually for all these things. And we're the opposite. We take all your content and put it together in meaningful ways. But Trello, like Trello, we're very lightweight. So you can use it for a lot of different purposes. And we have recommendations on how to use it for certain industries. Like I've talked to some other people about like using this as like a lawyer's office or a construction company. So construction companies have a lot of documentation too. And it'd be very lightweight if you don't already have a tool. There's a lot of softwares in legal professions and construction companies. But I definitely think if you're looking for a lightweight tool, something that you're like, well, I don't want to commit to one of these guys. I want to just try one of these things that has like some of these newer features that's using Chrome extensions and things like that make it just life a little bit easier. We definitely see that. We don't have those people yet in those other industries yet. We're reaching out though.
Speaking of those, are you going to, have you thought about creating like a basic template for somebody in a certain industry?
Totally. Yeah, we're working on putting those on the website now. So we're reaching out to a lot of early adopters and beta testers and things like that. And as we're doing that, we're going to start putting some of these examples. So like I showed with software development here, yeah, we'll do the same kind of documents. I was actually talking to a lawyer buddy of mine last Friday, and I was just like, tell me everything about lawyering. Tell me about, what kind of events do you go to? What kind of, different trials do you go to if you even go to trial? What kind of documents? And so I can, put some of those use cases together for the other industries for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really good with that, because that's almost like you can probably get a lot of that use case at least a checklist from like Smart Sheets.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we didn't want to play into project management. So this is just letting everyone know, it's just kind of fun that project management is assigning tasks to users essentially, and then figuring out what status they're in at the time so we can all work together. We didn't want to be into that. I've seen a lot of that with Asana, Notion, Monday.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of times it's just like bolted on. So we do project management, we do a calendar, and we do this and we do that. And there's really cool features in these, but we wanted to be really focused on knowledge management, saying we want to make this the best experience for putting your content together in a meaningful way. It doesn't mean like they're not thinking about those things, but to take project management and then make sure it always flows to knowledge management the same way for every organization. To me, it was like almost an impossible problem to solve because everyone's using project management slightly differently. Some people use Kanban, some people use Scrum, some people just use it to manage their day-to-day as Trello. But like to say every document attached to a card in Trello or Jira should come in here is not true. Like if it was just like a bug that you found, you wouldn't want a picture of all these bugs in your system. It would be just like unnecessary data. So we wanted it to be curated like Pinterest, where people are selecting and saying, I want to pin this to my system. I want to add this explicitly because this will have value no matter what. Even if it's a contract that didn't work, I will reuse that contract for another client and that one will work. And so there's this value in reusing this data. So we didn't want to just funnel in everything from other systems or anything like that. We wanted to be very curated and intentional. So our system, whatever system, whoever's using the system will always have value, no matter even if it's old or older, that you could reuse it and it always feels fresh.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea, Dane, of the Teamster, because like even like when you were talking about this, Daphne, when you were talking about the lawyers, you know, it could be a case.
Yep. Yeah, depositions, a lot of depositions. So because here, I'll show this. Let's see this picture here. So up here would be all your different document types. So we have like contracts, you know, all sorts of stuff. You know, I have my list somewhere of all the different documents that they're using, non-disclosures, things like that. And then over here, a lot of people are already thinking about, my wife included, are thinking about this being more of like event-based. So it's like deposition 1, deposition 2, trial. And because these events have an accumulation or a collection of these different documents, you need to prepare every time for those things. So you need like one of these, 2 of these, one of these, and you need to be able to repeat it. And so you can actually clone these features and repeat and rinse and repeat with different documents of the different types. So a lot of people have already been talking about event-based over here instead of feature-based. And that's something we would just definitely consider. And my wife's like, well, put a calendar in it. I'm like, well, we're getting there, you know, if we want to put a calendar in there for sure. But that's definitely something they're considering.
Now, this is something that you recommending. I mean, it almost takes the place of lesson learned at the end of a project.
Yep.
Do you archive at the end of the project, or do people move? What's the recommendation from the organization standard? Because you're in the business of organizing knowledge base.
Yeah, exactly. You can archive a project when it's done. You can actually explicitly mark it active, archived, and abandoned. And when you archive it, it's like, hey, we completed the project. If you abandon it, we still save it. But we wanted to note, we're notating the difference between an abandoned project and archive. But yeah, essentially you would just archive the project when you're done and create a new page if you don't already have a couple projects in the pipeline. That way, like when you click this drop down, you're not getting like 1,000 projects. Like you can still go find them, but you want to have quick access to the ones that are live and active.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the process of, like you mentioned, a contract didn't work for one, but it might work for another. So if you archive the project or even abandon the project where the contract didn't work, how do you pull that back out to use for somebody else?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're not fully there yet, but it's essentially, it would be part of, we would have to search for it or do some kind of discoverability. What we want to do down the road is be able to make those connections for you, kind of like recent customers also viewed this and start to create relationships for people as kind of like a suggestion, but also be able to search it to allow people to search for what they're looking for.
So,
but we're not there yet.
my
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go, Daphne.
I was just gonna ask if you can do a demonstration on how easy it is to move a folder over.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
move
not
a document over.
Oh, just to drag it? I'm sorry?
Yeah, a demonstration, because I'm just looking at this and I'm just trying to figure, okay, I know I have all these. I have my Evernotes, I may have Keeps.
Yeah, we'll pull it up.
Everybody should have an organizer on their team.
There's always one, no matter what. Okay.
Someone to push organization. That's what that project manager needs to do. So you can, increase productivity.
Okay, let me share it.
I'm a fanatic about organization.
So let's take this image, this little like mock up here. You can just drag it over like this, boop, 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 and say, wow, it looks so good. And now it belongs there. Or was it artifacts? Now it's labeled looks so good. I mean, this is a test database right now, so don't mind all the junk.
But I'm trying to understand, okay, I'm in my Google, let's say I'm in my Google Docs, for example.
Sure.
And I want, or InVision, it doesn't matter. I'm in one of those tools, right? I save the document. Where I'm saving the document, I just want to try to see how easy,
yes,
fluency, seamless it's going to be for me.
Yep, I'll show you. Put me on the fly, Daphne. This is great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Making sure my software is legit. All right, here we go.
Well, that's okay. We're early adopters. We understand.
I have a shareable. I have a document. Like here's a timesheet. I don't know. It's a template, and I just want to share it to my board. Boop, and I say, copy link. Boop. I can now just dock it that fast. I can just go boop straight to my board because it defaults my board.
Gotcha.
It's that quick. But if you want to, and we're going to make this a little bit prettier, but if you want to add what it is, like where it belongs, so like, oh, it's part of the cart and it's a artifact. This is a really bad example. There it is. It's an artifact and it belongs to this splash page. You can then just dock it on the fly and it will just automatically show up on your board when you refresh it. So that's the one way to do it. You can also email to the board like I mentioned before. So let's do that. Let's see. You'll see here 1008@share.redocd.com. That's the short code email that you can just directly email to. And here's 1002. And you'll see that if you don't organize it, if I just share directly via email, it kind of comes in this like solitaire inbound where you're like, oh, it's not categorized yet because it was emailed to the board. I didn't use the Chrome extension. So I just pull it over and put it wherever I want to. I can add it to a file type like, oh, it's a proposal. I know that. There it is. But I still don't know what features it belongs to. So I can add it to features like this way, or I can like do a little checklist and boom, now you're organized. Just like that.
Okay, so you can ask organize within a folder.
Yeah. So then when I come back to artifacts or proposals, you'll see that this one doesn't have a flash page. It hasn't been added to one yet. This one belongs to Looks So Good, which is feature 1. And you can see that I can get them all at the same time. So I can come here and I can dump all my things at once. And that's typically the use case for most people, sadly, is I just want to dump all my files. And then when I've dumped them, I can add it to this feature, add it to this feature, and add it to this feature, just that quick. And now everything's organized. It's like, boom. Or they can use the drop down if they prefer to be Pinterest style.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
So we built you mentioned Basecamp earlier. That's what we used to use. And we stopped using it because they're very much, this is what we are. And you can either figure out how to use it for you or don't use us.
Yeah.
And we were like, all right, well, we're just going to build our own then because we really like what you've done, but we need it for more. So we call it to-dos. It's really effective for us, but the knowledge management part of it is a disaster. I mean, we can upload any file type that we want. I love that you can share a Google Doc or anything else, but we can upload any file that we want, but it's specifically tied to the comment that you're leaving on either the to-do task or a discussion or whatever else. And then even if we tag the attachment, which makes it easy for us to pull it up later, this is just so much more organized. But where I am hung up is like, how could I use both? Because I couldn't abandon to-dos. It is everything for us. But then how do I upload files to Redocd, but then do all my all the note taking and task assigning over to-dos?
That's a great question.
Or can I attach to-dos to this, is what Darren just said, and that's where my head was going, is like, how, even from an API standpoint, like I don't even know how I would make that connection.
That's right. So typically, you can share like a Trello card. If I just do like, because I use Trello as the example, but yeah, to-dos, same thing, like Trello card 1. Save. Boop, there it is. There's my little Trello card. Great. I can save this.
We're just seeing your face.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. I was trying to wow you. Okay. So I created my Trello card, and it just gives me this ability to like move it on the fly, or just leave it there, except. And I can create it, and I could create it as like a key. And we have spaces for that where you like put a key, like a URL that's not a card, so to speak, but it's like, hey, this feature is an epic in Jira. It links over there. So it's not an API, but it's just a basic link that says, when I come over here, and this is an old UI, we're refreshing this part of the Flash pages, but don't really worry about that. But you can build keys essentially, or build Trello cards, or links over to those Flash pages essentially. So like one feature is essentially an epic in Jira, and an epic holds many tasks. I don't encourage, from an organization standpoint, building a link to every single Trello card or to-do task in here. I think you need, whoever wants to set it up would build a key to something on a feature level or an epic level or a board in another project. And that says, here's all our tasks. And then while you're in the to-do task or you're in Trello, you then choose, as you build these deliverables, build a mockup, my designer builds mockups, then you would pin them back over here. And we have a Chrome extension that makes it easy to just click, and like I was just showing, just click and pin it. You don't have to come in here and copy the link and paste it and save it. You can do that, or you can email directly to it. And then there's also some other features we're making, just that no matter what website you're on, it's easy to save an image, bring it over here, save a shareable link, and send it over here. So we just wanted that, because the to-dos, it's unstructured content, and we just want to help structure that for people and have them thinking like, is this something meaningful, or is this just like a bug that has a bunch of crap on the screen and I don't really need to save this? This isn't reusable. It's just a comment that I made to somebody, and not every comment is valuable in the long run. So long answer to your question, I would say like, I'm not sure about that software specifically. Would you say it's Todoist?
No, that's a good one too. To-do.
Oh, okay, it sounded like you said that.
T-O-O-O-S. It's just something we built ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it is public, but we're not like marketing it yet.
Right.
Who knows? I'll be presenting it one day on 1 Million Cups, but I think the email may be the answer, because just like Basecamp, you can select who's already on the project, who you want that message to go to, but you can also loop someone in, and we could put the email address in there, and then it would essentially send the message, including the attachment, right over here. And I guess then I would just organize it more.
Yeah.
I do have one suggestion. You mentioned about when you email things, how it kind of comes up into like that solitaire looking area. I know that when I left Basecamp, one of the things that they did have, when you would email something to your Basecamp project, there was like a very specific subject format that you could use that would actually put it where you want it to go. That may be something, just to further help organize by that email. That could be interesting. We lose you? Dane, did we lose you? Maybe. All right.
I told him to share.
Oh,
let me start my video.
There you go.
Right back.
Hey. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, we still see that you're connected, but we just lost video.
Oh, I killed it all just to give it more. Hold on.
No problem.
You can still hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, well, let's my video.
So Dane, is there just specific tools that are currently attached to it right now? Like the Google Docs, like
We don't have
I'm looking at some other tools, productivity tools.
Yep. We don't have any APIs besides Chrome extension and our app itself right now. Those are our main APIs. We're not actually, our first main like Trello or as we need pair. We recommend, to say you need a project management system, but you may not want to design a bunch of spaces and publish them and do all that stuff. You want something lightweight. So we think Trello would be the first one. And it's going to be similar to what you're saying about like, hey, I have all these tasks. How does that data get back to my Redocd board? And it would essentially just be like clicking, like pin it to my Redocd board as well while in Trello, as opposed to like funneling everything in just like via API. Like people love to do that. They're like, just create a pipe and funnel it. You're like, well, we want to be like, hey, that document, when you're working on the card, just pin it and you would have a little check mark that it's synced or something like that. But we haven't built that yet. So right now it's all using the Chrome extension or email into the board right now.
I'm trying to understand. So does it email any types of documents? That's what I was trying to understand.
Yeah, coming back to what you was just saying about Basecamp, Basecamp has that use case which says I'm going to draft an email in my Gmail account, send something and add some unique keywords to automatically sort it. We were focused on emailing directly from SaaS-based systems where, as you'll see, as everyone knows, if I'm in my Google Drive, this is what we were focused on email. So you'll see 1002.share.redocd. So we didn't do any of that. We just wanted to put it on the board. Could we put something in a message where we could say, put keyword this or something? Yeah, we could totally do that. But we were really focused on these modules because everyone is moving to this right now to some degree, whether it's a shareable link or share it with your team. And we wanted to play off of that as opposed to like, we thought people were using emails a lot to mail like directly from one person to the other. We're like, hey, I'm in my Google Drive. I just finished writing this thing. I just need to send it to the board, or I don't even want to send it to the board. I just want to copy the link and pin it to the board or dock it to the board. Boom, docked.
Right. And that's what I like right there. Pinning to the board and docking to the board. Yep. But my question is that, okay, because I don't know all this Chrome stuff. And okay, so is it going to, the tools that I use, like say if I use Evernote, well, not Evernote, but I use this project, what tool Meistermind, that's what I use.
Meistertask.
Okay, so how would I use that here? Is it ready now or is not ready for that? That's what I was trying to understand.
Any system that has the ability to create a shareable link to your project or has an email share or even has a URL, just a general, you can use, which is almost any website. Now,
okay.
So we're obviously like there's some of this like that we're scraping images, but if you have a website link, typically it's a shareable link to a specific project. But if you just wanted to save a URL like in Pinterest, you could do that and save that URL if you wanted to and pin that for some reason that you're like, hey, I need to save my whole drive. You wouldn't do that. But yeah, so any website you can do it.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay, I like that.
So if you wanted to see all the vendors who applied for one event, click on that date, just show everything related to the event in addition to like, sorry, so Leslie and I put on an event here in Peachtree City and elsewhere called Night Market. And actually I am still paying for Basecamp because I do like to have everything stored there. I just haven't moved it out yet. But the idea here would be like your flash pages would be going back to what your wife said about events, right? I don't really care that they're even a calendar or dated. We would just label it, call it October 10th.
That's it.
And all the vendors who apply like what it doesn't do is the communication piece though. So like if I'm emailing with the porta potty vendor and I just want to sort of share that communication to let everybody on the team know that it's been booked, I could essentially email it to the email address and then drag it over to 1010 so that we know that that's the event that message is associated with. But this is really not about communication. It's really about file sharing.
It is. Yeah.
I would really think more of like the signed PDF of the receipt that shows I paid or something like that I would classify it.
Yeah, when they send you an invoice or you send them an invoice, a signed PDF or something like that, that's the kind of content we want to keep. Trying to keep like I've even seen tools that they say we want to funnel all inboxes into their system. And once again, that's nothing wrong with that. It just is different approach to kind of what we're doing. But yeah, we want to make it really simple for you to get documents, deliverables is what I call them. A lot of people use that word, deliverables in the system. Like, what did I deliver? Did the customer sign something? Did we produce something? Because those are the things that I'll probably save as later on down the road and do it for someone else.
Now, Dane, is it possible, this is Daphne again,
Hey.
is it possible to share like a landing page? I'm just making this up, it's called landing page, but almost like a landing page if you wanted people to see what's in those documents shared outside of the team, you know, like Dropbox or Box, you know, and in Google, you can actually create a URL and then people can see it. I call it a landing page, but.
We're getting there. We're not there yet. We need to be able, we're trying to get to a place where we can support clients using it. So right now we're very focused on internal product teams, internal to your organization. But yes, we know that's such a strong use case. I'm actually building a website right now for an organization. I wanted to share the pro page is what we call it with them, but there are some like sensitive data, like how do I create a view of that that's just for the clients? So yeah, that's definitely a problem we want to solve. We're just not there yet.
Okay.
Yep.
I want to be able to use this in like so many different ways.
Yeah, thanks.
I just have to like get my hands on it to like really figure out how I would like to kind of to your point with your website client. I mean, so our own website is built on WordPress. We have a plugin called Project Huddle. So we're uploading our mockups and wireframes to Project Huddle, giving that link to the client who can then click live on the screen and leave comments all over the place. So for our own internal purpose, it would be interesting to organize those mockups in your system, but like the value of the commenting is all within Project Huddle. Another one of our problems that we need to solve is getting the comments from the comments from Project Huddle to show up in to-dos, because that's where the designer is living and needs to be able to quickly make those changes, right? So like, that's just a challenge of ours, but I don't think that document sharing is gonna be a solution. However, I could absolutely see storing that mockup, the original mockup, on your system just for the sake of like, let's just go back and look at all the mockups that we did for this one client. Or I guess, you know, maybe we could reuse one for another client later if they didn't approve it or something like that, but.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's kind of like the risk that we took here was where the industry was going with technology is that Google Drive, Microsoft, a lot of these other tools, they have built-in commenting, versioning, and all these things. So we didn't really tackle those problems very much. So like we knew that if we could get you all the right pieces together, that you would probably go and put comments in your Word doc online. You probably wouldn't take a visual like in Pinterest as much and keep it in Pinterest and put comments on the side, because you have to go read it to add comments to it. And you would use their commenting feature and their things to do that. But we want to be the kind of the blueprint of your organization, saying like, how do we make these things make sense? How do we get them there? Yes. Are we going to support commenting down the road where it's like, if you just upload a PNG of like a logo that you're working on, like, could you add comments? Yeah, we want to support that. But we just also know that versioning is going to be already handled by all these organizations. There's very little need for us to do that right now, especially with Google Drive, through Office 365. Like, why would we do that? And the industry is moving away from these hard files. So like, we also want to support versioning for hard files, but it's kind of a dying thing a little bit. So it's like, I upload a hard Word document. I do need to version it because I made a save as, but down the road, it's going to be a link to an Office 365 link, which is already versioned perfectly by Microsoft. So it's kind of a risky move a little bit from what I see for us to do that. But I think that as we make data faster and faster as organizations, we're producing more and more and more as we are able to use these tools. Our tool is going to be very valuable increasingly because we're able to create too much data that you need to be able to navigate it and put it in the right features and the right modules that you can let those people be experts on those specific tools, like how to comment on an image for a mock-up. Like let them be the pros on it. We're just trying to get you there and make it sense. So anyone in your organization can see any project and say, I get this, I know how to get to it, or I know how to request access to it.
I think you've solved a really good problem that just not everybody has, or that they can't.
Well, you know, it's a problem, right? Yeah, right.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
man, congrats.
Thank you.
When is your TechCrunch thing?
It's like our official kickoff. It's on the 14th. It kicks off, so in 2 weeks. That's like kind of our go live. We're kind of setting some expectations for the conference, but mostly it's just like our go live that we're using as a kickoff. But for those who are wondering, check us out on Redocd.com, and you can get some coffee and get a package in the mail with other cool stuff as well. And you can try the system. We'll set you up for early adoption, early partnership, and be really.
I already filled out the form.
Yeah. All right. Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. Well, if nobody has any other questions, I'm happy to let you go on with your day.
Thanks. Yeah.
Daphne, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you, Daphne. Thanks for all the questions. That was awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Where are you located?
I'm in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So right below Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right.
Yep. But I actually grew up in Georgia. So I grew up in Gwinnett County. So I'm not like, I have connection. That's why and my sister lives in Peachtree City as well.
Really?
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her husband's an air traffic controller. Yeah.
Well, that's the right place for it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Does he work at the airfield here in Peachtree City?
I think so. I need to double check, but I just know that he does that in Peachtree City for like Hartsfield Jackson and everything.
Oh, okay. One of my neighbors is also air traffic control at the airfield here, so
yeah,
small world. It was the same person.
That's awesome.
So I didn't just do like random cities. I was like, I actually grew up here, and I do have some connections. So I was trying to be a little specific. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, y'all. Thank you for asking some awesome questions, and yeah, thanks again.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next month. Once we get confirmation of our next presenters. As you know, this chapter, it's always the first Wednesday of each month. So thanks, and have a great week and a good month.
Bye.
Bye.
Is it 31?